Hi everyone, it's Joy, and I'm so happy to be back with you at our usual 12 noon time here in the Denver, Colorado area. So that is Mountain Time. So if you're joining me in other time zones, it will be different for you, of course. Um, so yeah, it's just really great, and I'm going to be showing you a bridge fold card like this one that I did in the for the Instagram hop today for the monochromatic color of what is this color? Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight was our color. And so I did this fun bridge card, so I'm going to be making one of those today with a little bit different designer series paper. But I just wanted, it's such a fun one and it's really easy to do. So I wanted to do that for you today. So hopefully people will stop and make sure that you put your say hello in the comments. You know, you can tell me how the weather is where you are. We're a little cool right now. We're fully into the fall weather, maybe the cool side of the fall weather right now. Thank you for joining me today for our Friday Live. I'll be using the Light and Wonder bundle. It has these great sentiments, some large words, and then some smaller words. And it's kind of a builder kind of a set. You can mix and match your words. And then you have these great die cuts that cut out these fabulous trees. And you can use the other ones down here for water or snow or mountains. You can have these up here you can use for some clouds. It's just a really great versatile one. And then if you look at the suite of products, you also can get this paper. This is the Lights of Aurora 6x6 Designer Series paper. And you have these fabulous patterns. I'll go through and I'll do side A and then we'll flip it over and do side B. But you have these great ones. Look at those. It just looks like fabulous Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. It's really fun. And this is the piece we're going to be using today. And really fun. And then on the back sides, look at this, guys. Look, you have all this great kind of a watercolor wash-ish. Kind of this one's kind of ombre. So these are just wonderful. You have all these great colors, and then you have a piece of solid black. So these are just fabulous papers to try and use with mini projects. And we also have the frosted iridescent dots that come with these. So in my other sample, I did use a different embellishment. I used these little flowers. They kind of like little snowflakes. That's what I use them for there. The hues of blue flowers. So I did use that with these. I'm not sure which embellishments I'm going to use for the bridge card that I'm making today with this set, but yes, that's what we'll be using today. Now, it is in the mini catalog. This bundle and suite of projects is in the mini catalog, the September to December 2025 mini catalog. And it is on page, let's get to it. Let's see, where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. It's on page 36 and 37. So this has some great samples with it. And then this shows you everything, and then there is some ribbon that comes with this too. So this is like a balmy blue sheer ribbon, so that's very pretty as well. So, you know, the whole suite is a really great price. If you like all of the items, you can just use one item number. And then, of course, with the bundle, you're always getting a 10% discount for if you bought the stamp set and the dies separately. So yeah, so the bundle is always a discount there. Yeah, there's the stamp set and the dies. It would be 19 for the stamp set, 38 for the dies, but together it's 51.25 instead of 57. So that's always a great discount. You get a sale on the bundle all the time. So let's go ahead and move some things around and bring in our card base for today. So we are going to be using a Blackberry Bliss card base, and it is 4¼ inches by 8 inches. So instead of the full 8½, it's only 8 inches. So 8 inches this direction and 4¼ this direction. And then we score at 1¼ 2½, 5½, and 6¾ So let's show you that again on our little paper trimmer. I love our paper trimmer. It is so versatile, and it's got a great scoring blade with it. So you just put it in here and you go to 1¼ inches, and then you score, and then you go to 2½ inches and you make another score line, and then you pull this out, your arm out, and you go the next one, you go to 5½ inches, and then you score that, and then you go to 6¾ inches, and you go ahead and you score that. So that is our prep for our card base. That was noisy. And now we're going to fold. So we want a mountain fold first. Let's get our foam folder here. We want a mountain fold. And then, I think that's right. Yes. And then we want a valley fold. So let's just go ahead and do that one. So you have a mountain and then a valley. And then you're going to go and you're going to do a valley. And then you're going to end with a mountain. So mountain, valley, valley, mountain. So that's how we do that. So that is how those are folded. Then, so a bridge card always has a piece that comes across the front. Let me go ahead and show you this again and show you how it folds down to fit in a standard A2 envelope. And so we need this piece here. We need a piece there for a bridge fold piece. So I've gone ahead and die cut that piece. And I have used the thick basic white. I use the thick basic white because it is a little, does have a little more heft to it. It is a little heavier weight. And I've used that also for my die cut trees. And I did put it together and I cut them out at the same time. So you have the, let me show you those dies. You have a die, you have your trees die here, and then like that, and then you have a die here, and I just, you could do it this way for mountains. I just flipped it this way for snow mounds, and I just laid it down on my paper. I used the same sheet of paper, laid them really close together, and that's how I did that. So if you join me live or if you join me on replay, always make sure to make comments, because I do go back and I react to your comments. I reply to your comments, and so I just love them, and I love the interaction that I can have with you even though we're not here together in person. So I've done that, and this is 5½ inches in length. Yes, so 5½ inches. So I did a piece of cardstock when I did that together. It was a 5½ inch piece by about, no, it has, this one's taller. So 5½, I needed 5½ inches by about at least 4 3/4 inches, but I think I probably did 5.5 by 5 is what I did for this. So let's go ahead and what should we do next? I think we need to set those aside. This is this here, and then we need to bring in some designer series paper. So I've gone ahead and pre-cut our papers. Got the little baggie here that has my stuff so I don't lose it, because I would lose this. So I did cut it, so if you, as you can see, if you line these all up, this goes this way. Yes, this way. So if you line these all up, this is your 6-inch piece of paper here. And then I needed to go into another piece to get one more piece of this, because I wanted some of the purple tones on one side and the blue tones on the other of my finished card. So I did need one more piece here, so I did have to cut that off of an additional 6x6 sheet. So these are, I'll tell you the dimensions here. These pieces here are 1 inch by 4 inches by 4. So 2 of these 1 inch by 4, and then you need a 2 3/4 inch by 4, and 2 more 1 inch by 4 pieces. So 1 inch by 4, 1 inch by 4, 2 3/4 inch by 4, 1 inch by 4, and 1 inch by 4. And that's going to go on our main card base here. So let's go ahead and let's just get our background done. I want to keep these in order, so I'm putting this over here in order. And we're going to get out, what are we going to use? I think I'll just use some of my Stampin' Seal. I think that'll work just fine. Oh, you know what? I might want wiggle room. You know what? I'm going to change tactics here. I'm not going to use the Stampin' Seal. You could, but the liquid glue does give me more wiggle room. So I am going to switch and use the liquid glue. Make sure, again, that these are, yes, the way they need to be. So you don't want to get too close to the edge, because that glue will ooze a little bit. Making sure. I always double, triple check everything. I don't know if you're like that too, but I absolutely am that way. I double and triple check everything. When that glue did ooze out just a little, I had a little too much glue there, but it will be absolutely fine. So, maybe not quite as much glue. I'm going to use my tip and thin that out a little bit so that my glue is not quite as thick. Oop. Make sure it matches. Then this one goes in the next panel, making sure we got even borders around, making sure our height is the same, so nothing's too crooked. Although I have a friend that says there are no mistakes, there's just happy creations, and she has so much fun just creating. She does not worry about perfection, and I envy the fact that I'm a little more of that she is a less of a perfectionist than I do. I envy her for that. And so we're just going to go ahead, keep going. I don't think Facebook is showing me the comments right now. Sometimes Facebook does and sometimes they don't. Just how things happen. Trying to make sure that I've got it the right way. Yep, that's it. That's it. And then our last one. And then this was cut off from another piece. And so it's going to be the same as this one. Or do I want it exactly the same, or do I want to flip it? I think I might want to flip it. So there we have our nice Aurora Borealis background with the blue tones on one side and the purple tones on the other. So there's our background. Now what do we need to do? We need to do a little bit of stamping, I think. So let's bring out a couple of other pieces that I need. I need a small piece of the Blackberry Bliss and a small piece of just regular basic white is what this is. This is for my little sentiment. So this is 5/8 inches by 1 5/8 inches, and then the Blackberry Bliss piece is just 1/8 of an inch larger at 3/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So I just measured the size of my stamp here, and that's how I determined what size for those pieces. Let's go ahead and bring in Blackberry Bliss ink. This is a very, very old, well-loved pad. This is still the old style pad. It's still Blackberry Bliss. I can still get an ink refill for it, so I'm still using it. But one of these days I will have a brand new Blackberry Bliss pad, I'm sure. Let's put that over there. Let's bring on our Embrace Thee. So this stamp here says Embrace Thee. And I need this brand new inking. So I am just going to bring in a very, very ugly piece of scratch paper here. And I'm just tapping. I don't want to get any extra ink anywhere, so I'm just tapping on this in a very, very light touch. And that looks good. So I'm going to commit to my piece of paper. And as you can see, this fits the stamp exactly. Beautiful. Now the next one needs to get stamped on this snow here. And it says Magic. Again, we're going to test that out because it's the first time I'm using this stamp. So we are going to test this out. Beautiful. So again, just barely tapping on this ink pad. Just you can tap it a few times to get good ink coverage, but do not be tempted to push into that pad. So just hopefully we're getting that straight. We're just stamping the word magic right there. So this card is going to say Embrace the Magic. So this card could be used for any occasion. And this one's kind of dry, so let's attach those two together. Sometimes I just squeeze that just a little bit and then move it around with the tip because I try not to get too thick on my glue, and I always use the skinny end. There are two ends to this, but I really don't like the other end, so I always use the skinny end. And we'll get this on our little matted layer here, try to get it straight with an even border all the way around. And then this one here is going to go on the front of this. So let's go ahead and bring in some dimensionals because I want some dimension between my snow layer and my tree layer. So I want some dimension there. So let's put some dimensionals. I want one here. And I want one over here. And one in the middle. Should be good. And then I can use edge pieces or I can just switch to some minis. Do you want a couple of minis? One here. I think one there. Maybe one down just a little bit on this side. There. Okay. Now we're going to attach these together. And I need to take your pick tool. Let's go ahead and get these papers off. Come on. There we go. Alright, got our papers off. We need, let's see, we need our snow and we kind of need it kind of straight. So let's get this on our grid lines here on our glass mat. I love my glass mat. And I'm going to take a piece of washi. Take a little piece of washi and I'm going to de-stickify it or get the sticky off of it a little bit so it doesn't rip my paper. And I'm going to tape this down so that this is kind of straight here. There we go. Oops, where'd it go? Stuck to my finger. Do it again. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to line these up. There we go. I think my head may have gotten the shot. Sorry about that. So there we have that, and then we got these little pieces hanging out down there at the bottom. We don't need those. So we are going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to cut those little pieces off down there. There. And we need some more dimensionals because, you know me, I love dimension. Now, this is standard for me to just do this. So, I need some dimension down here. Then I need to double up on this dimension because I'm going to put dimension on the other layer too. So double up here. Then I'm going to put some over here. And let's see, where else do I want it? Okay, there's snow behind this part here. So I can put one up here. And one over here. Let's see, what else do I need? Do I need some minis? I think I need a couple of minis down here. I know, I use both. I use both the standard size and the minis. You can absolutely cut down the big ones if that's what you wish to do. Let me check this, make sure I don't have any saggy parts. Well, it looks pretty good. Oh, you know what? This is in the middle. I do not need this one here. Oh my goodness. I forgot that that's in the middle of the card. I do not need this one or this one. Let's take those off. I only need the edges here. I'm so silly today, guys. Because I forgot this is going to be in the middle of my card. So I can't go more than about an inch on each side here. So let's put this one where? Where do we want this one? We want one there? Maybe a mini. A couple of minis right here. Because this is the middle of the card. There's going to be nothing there. So don't do it I did. Do it I say, not what I do. And then I want a couple of minis in a couple of places on the back here. So I want one right here. And one here. And I want one, where do I want one? Right here, I think. Yeah, right there. And maybe one right here. I think that doesn't go. Where's my ruler? Because it can't go past 1¼ inches. Yes, that's correct. 1¼ so maybe one right there. So you can always cut some of these down if you're gonna, because you don't want to cover up the holes. So I think I need to trim this one down a little bit. I don't want to cover up those holes because those holes need to show. Alright, there we go. Alright, that's what you need to do. Do not put anything in the middle portion there. And these are going to get attached to this card base. So first, we're going to attach that side. Let's get my take your pick tool out again. And remove, I'm just going to go ahead and remove both sides. Just have to be careful because the other side is sticky. So it doesn't stick where I don't want it to stick. Alright. I'm going to stick this. I folded this over here. I'm going to stick this right on the bottom. Line it exactly up at the bottom and exactly up at the side. And then we're going to come over here on the other side and line that exactly up at the bottom and exactly up at the side. And if you have any hanging over the edge, you could trim that. But this is our main part of our card. As you can see, it has this nice little open area. It kind of creates almost a diorama there. So this is a simple bridge fold card, and it will fold either way, and it will fit inside your envelope. And now we have the Embrace Thee. This is going to go right over here. About like so. So we only need glue on that part. We only need a little bit glue on that end. Spread it out so it's not too thick. Just a little bit of glue on one end. And I'm going to put this underneath this little top of this tree and put this all the way up to where the designer series paper is on the background. So that's how I did that. And this piece is just hanging loose here. It's kind of hanging out there. So, you know, then when you've got it, you get this nice little open area, and then you just have this nice little winter scene here with the magic of the Aurora Borealis. Now, what kind of gems? I want a little something, some little gems or something there. I think I might go ahead and use the frosted iridescent dots for this one. I think I want these little, like, they look like Highland Heather. I think I want those. Make sure my putty is good on the end of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to go over here and grab one off the edge here. And I'm just going to put one right about there. And then I'm going to grab one of the small ones. Probably stick it over here. Then, how do I want to move that? I think I want to move that. I want to maybe put it there. And put one over on the other side. I don't know. I'll have to see what I think. Sometimes I move things around because I'm just not sure where I want to put them. So I just kind of play with them until I'm happy. I don't push them down till I'm ready. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm just going to put 3 of them there because when you do things in threes, that's very appealing to the eye. And odd numbers, definitely odd numbers. So like if I was going to add more, I would do like 5. And so there we have that part of our card. That's ready to go. So now we have the back part. It's because it's like, well, where are we going to, you know, put a signature, write a little note? So now I have a piece of paper. This is basic white, and this is the same as that one, the middle DSP. It's 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And then I had, when I cut my little strips, I had a little tiny strip of that DSP left over. So this is like, is it a 1/4 inch? Let's see. This is a 1/4 inch wide, and of course it's 4 inches. So I have that little piece there, and then, you know, I have a little strip of this too. So I'm just going to use these for a little decoration on the back because I do like to bring a little bit of the outside to the inside. In this case, the front to the back, because our inside makes our little, you know, open diorama space. So this card is kind of like an open face sandwich, sort of. All right. Going to attach this right on top. Get an even border top and bottom. And then this will go on our basic white piece. There we have our glue. And we're going to finish this up. Oh, I didn't need it all the way across because this is not that long of a piece. Yeah. Well, we're going to have some extra glue here. Alright, which side do I want? I think I want this side. So we're just going to put this on here, and then we will trim that off because it's longer than we needed. And we're going to have to wipe the glue off of our scissors afterwards. Well, we don't need this piece. That's trash. And we have this piece. That's just going to get attached onto the back so that we can write a little personalized note to the recipient of our bridge fold card. This goes right in this middle panel here with an even border all the way around. So there we have, there's the back of our bridge fold card, the front of our bridge fold card, the middle we can see in the inside of our bridge fold card. So there's our bridge fold card. Here's the one that I did for my monochromatic Instagram hop today that you saw in my earlier post that was with the Misty Moonlight, and this is with the Blackberry Bliss base. Now I also wanted to show you something that I did, and for those of you that are coming to Stamp Camp here locally, so this is the cute little tag that I made, and this is from a different set here that Let It Snow. But today's project was the bridge fold card. Oh yeah, this is the little the sheer balmy blue ribbon. Very pretty. Yes, today's project was the bridge fold card, and you've got the two colors that I'm showing you here with the two different words. So tell me in the comments which one you like best. Do you like the Blackberry Bliss? Do you like the Misty Moonlight? And until next time, bye.